Today we're going to talk about Siddhartha, and this is a fairly short book. A lot of this book is actually introduction. I think it's around 110 pages, something like that. But in between the lines, in between the pages, is a very interesting message. And to understand this, I think you need to get a little background on Hermann Hesse. I don't know too much about him, but what I do know about him is that he seems to be someone that was looking for answers, and he seems to be someone that couldn't find it through traditional manners. And that's really what the book is about. Hermann Hesse was someone that was very familiar with Nietzsche, very familiar with Jung, and seemingly you can see these influences in his work. The basic plot of Siddhartha is that there is, a boy who wants to grow up to become an enlightened master, basically, who wants to find the secrets to the universe, who wants to break free from all suffering and all whims of the world. And him and his friend, they set out to go live with the ascetics. Ascetics are people who basically fast all day. They don't have any clothes. They don't have any possessions. They really don't have anything. But through this, they find the meaning and the purpose in life. It's very similar to the messaging of Walden. And basically, his friend is all for this. He's all, he's like, this is the path, this is the solution, this is the thing that's going to bring me to enlightenment. But Siddhartha himself does not believe this. And, through the course of different events, him and his friend kind of split up, and his friend basically follows this one enlightened man, this one enlightened master, but Siddhartha goes out on his own to experience the world for himself. And, at this stage, what he's really trying to express is there's not one path. There's not one path to happiness. There's not one path to enlightenment. There's not one path to fulfillment. And, it really reminds me of the Zen Buddhist idea of if you see Buddha on the road, kill him. And it's not to be taken literally. It's a saying. And what it's basically saying is if there's something that inspires you, you're going to always try to replicate that. But in the course of replicating that, you lose yourself. And that's really the problem with most religious beliefs, most people that follow a teacher, is that the teacher becomes the religion. The teacher becomes the thing that we venerate instead of the actual God, instead of the actual belief, instead of the actual purpose of the thing. And that's really what I have an issue with most religions. It focuses too much on the material. It focuses too much on the structure. It focuses on the church, the Pope, this, that, and instead of, really embracing the lessons, really living like Christ. At least I'm a Christian, so, to me, it doesn't mean anything for you to go to church if you're not living like Christ. And that's really my own personal belief, and I feel like there's some people that disagree with that, there's some people that agree with that, but that's basically what this book is trying to talk about. And it's super, super interesting. It really reminded me of Emerson in the fact of being yourself is the greatest achievement. And that's really what Siddhartha's talking about. And the story then progresses to Siddhartha going back into the world, getting worldly success, and feeling like he's still missing something. And what it's really trying to show you is that he has the best of both worlds. He has the spiritual teachings, he has the ability to calm himself, he has meditation, he has all of these things, he has the worldly success, and yet he's still not happy. And what he's missing is himself. He's missing the idea of understanding himself, the idea of understanding who he is, what he actually wants, and what it is that's going to make him happy in the world. And he has a kid, he finds a woman that he really loves, and he gives it all up because he's like, it still isn't enough. I still feel incomplete. And I'm not really spoiling it because I don't think my explanation is going to really grasp the same poetry, really grasp the same meaning. And I really want you to read this book. So hopefully what I'm saying is making you go to that. But the ending basically is that he goes back to this river where he originally started. And at the river is a ferryman. And the ferryman is very much a Taoist sage. He's very much, as Lao Tzu said, the man who goes out seeking is the man who will never find. And he basically tells Siddhartha that you must listen to the river. And the river is a very, very, very good symbolic representation of life because, as Heracles said, you can never step in the same river twice. The river is ever flowing, the river is ever changing, and the moment that you step your foot in the river, the water that touched your leg is already downstream. It's already something new. It's already completely something different. And this is the nature of life. Everything is growing, everything is being reborn, everything is changing, everything is in flux. Nothing is stagnant, nothing is the same. And you must listen to the flow of things. You must be okay with it. You must accept it. And that's really what Siddhartha learns, and he learns to be happy. And he eventually takes over for the ferryman. He eventually rekindles his relationship with his friend, and through the course of this, he finally understands what it means to be himself. He has finally become enlightened. He has finally overcame everything in his life that made him unhappy, and it was through living according to his own nature. It was through acceptance. It was through understanding. It was through perspective. And Siddhartha is something that's very, very interesting. It's a work that I read that I wish I read when I was much younger, because I feel like it would have had much more impact on me. Having studied all these ideas, having really, really delved into Eastern philosophy as well as some Western esoteric principles. I don't know. I think this is something that if you're extremely young or if you're extremely new to reading, it's really going to hit home. To me, it reminded me a lot of The Alchemist, in the sense of a boy going out and finding that he had what he needed all along. It reminds me of Emerson, in the sense of finding your individuality and through this finding your purpose. It reminds me of Walden, in a sense of living off the bare minimum. And I think it's a really, really good book. I probably should read more Hermann Hesse, because I really did like this. But yeah, nice quick read, something that you can get through in a very short amount of time, and something that's really going to make you think. And that's really what I like most about reading. It's one thing to have a compelling story. It's one thing to write great philosophy, but it's another thing to write a philosophical story that you have to read in between the lines, and you have to parse your own purpose from. And that's what Siddhartha is. That's what Siddhartha does so well. And yeah, definitely recommend reading this, especially because it's so short, especially because it's so simple but packs such a punch. And yeah, that's it. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Peace out. I will catch you in the next one. If you want more from me, go ahead, join my school community. That's where you get all my writings. I'm going to start adding videos in there as well. They just updated it so that you can do that. But yeah, after the next week or so, I'll have a lot more time. So hopefully I'll stream again more. Yeah, just out here enjoying life, doing what I like to do, and yeah, it's good. Life is good. That said, peace out. Catch you in the next one. Yeah.